Ed. My name is Janice Brooks and I'm a 9/11 survivor. I worked for a company called Eurobrokers and our office was on the 84th floor of 2 World Trade Center, which was the South Tower. Everyone talks about the impossibly beautiful day, and if you know New York, September is just amazing. My boss, Gil, had gone to London the day before, and I was in the office at about 7:30. At my desk, very ordinarily, sending faxes, checking emails, just the kind of things that you would normally do. There was a dull thud. I remember running around the corner to see Brian. I could see dust and swirling paper in the air. Our offices looked down on the harbour and the Statue of Liberty. Brian said he would check and see what was happening and come back to me. I went back to my desk and just carried on as normal. A couple of minutes later, a man screaming, "Everybody out." I stood up, took a couple of steps away from my desk, and then decided to call London. I called, couldn't find Gil, spoke to Robin. I'm very casual on the phone. "Hey, just to let you know, something's happening next door, or something seems to be happening, and I'm getting ready to leave." Him screaming at me down the phone. "Something's happening next door, Janice. Get out of there. A plane's gone into the building." Here was a guy who was 3,000 miles away from me. He was watching it on television, and yet I knew nothing, and it was happening 200 yards behind me. I ran through the dealing floor, saw 3 guys coming towards me, Dan, Dominic and Brian, just chatting away, talking as normal. Dan looked up and smiled at me. I'm running. "Robin said we have to get out. A plane's hit the building." "No, it's okay, it's next door. We're staying. What do you want to do?" Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Steve and Jose, who were the fire marshals at Eurobrokers. "Come on, Janice, down you go." And they herded me into the stairwell. So my decision to stay or go was taken away from me. Started walking back down. There was an announcement telling us that we have been asked not to evacuate 2 World Trade Center, as the space is being used on the plaza for those being evacuated from 1 Trade Center. Please return to your office. We then started on our way back. Now, there's clearly more of a story. Unfortunately, I don't have the time today to tell you about it, but if you're really interested, if you go to the Since 9/11 website, it's there. And if you choose to read it, you'll see a story of someone who was incredibly fortunate on the day, because from Robin telling me to leave, there were a queue of people waiting to help me. Some of them I knew, some of them were strangers on the street, and unfortunately with the passing of time, their faces are blurring. But it is without doubt in my mind that had it not been for all these people, I certainly wouldn't be here today. Eurobrokers unfortunately lost 61 people, 60 on the day, and John died a couple of weeks later. So the tally was 61. And that's why I'm here today, to not only mark the occasion, but to remind everyone of my friends. In closing, very quickly, if I can share something with you, something that actually kept me going, not only on September the 11th, in the days and the months afterwards, but still today, and that's hope. The hope that tomorrow will be a better day. And you know what? It mostly is. So I hope you don't feel you've wasted your time listening to me, and I hope you learn a lot from the speakers today. But I think what I hope most of all is that perhaps over the next day or two you can take some time to not only think about my friends, but about everyone who died on September the 11th. And if I can be really indulgent, can I please ask that you spare a thought for all the survivors, because we're still struggling. Thank you.